Good morning, Santa Clarita. Happy Friday. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley. I am your host, Matt Watson, and our show Eye on the Valley is brought to you by SCVi and iLead Schools, a network of free, you heard me, free public charter schools with campuses in Castaic, Agua Dulce, Lancaster. We've got a fully accredited online school. We've got a home study program that is just blowing up. It's called iLead Exploration. I tell you what, head on over to iLeadschools.org and check out each one of our 6 very unique schools, regardless of what your child's educational needs are. We've got you covered. Again, check us out at iLeadschools.org. In fact, why don't you head on over to that website now, settle in. We've got a great 2-hour show for you, and you can kind of peruse our schools while you listen to the show. It's going to be informative. It's actually going to be a lot of fun today as well. I'm looking forward to today's show. So yeah, we keep our eye on education here in Santa Clarita and across the nation, but like the show says, we keep our eye on the Valley as well, bringing you everything that you need to know about what's what here in the Valley. And we always try to take a little time to goof and giggle, because if you can't laugh while you're doing it, you're probably doing it wrong. And speaking about keeping our eye on the Valley, if you take Bouquet Canyon out of Saugus this morning, you may just want to call your boss and tell him you're working remote today. There's all kinds of construction going on in the median there. It's rough. Bunch of guys in orange vests jumping around there on Bouquet Canyon right around Seco. So yeah, if you can afford to get to work a little bit late, just keep your eyes open. Otherwise, stay home, work remote today, and listen to Eye on the Valley, because we do have a great show for you today. There's a lot going on. I enjoy every show that we do, but something's telling me that this one is going to be special. My first guest this morning is a dynamic young man who is one of our newer employees at Empower Generations High School. That is iLead's high school for pregnant and parenting and other at-risk youth. His name is Douglas Stevens. He's an instructional specialist. What's an instructional specialist, you ask? Well, I don't know, but we're about to find out. Anyways, Empower Generations truly is a special high school, born in 2016, serving a tremendous group of learners up in the Antelope Valley. Douglas will tell us all about it here in just a minute. Then in hour number 2, we have got Jason Gibbs coming in, City Councilman, candidate for Congress, and all-around righteous dude. He will be here around hour number 2. And then we will end the show like we always do, crashing and burning, when my big brother calls in for Big T's 5 Minutes of Fame, where he's got trivia and fun facts and all kinds of goofiness. And he's a good sport, so I'm sure Councilman Gibbs will stick around and play with us. He always loves to bust Big T's coconuts. So, let's get to it. As I said, my first guest today is Douglas Stevens. Douglas is an instructional specialist with Empower Generations High School in Lancaster, a Southern California boy who studied journalism at Pepperdine University. Boy, it could be a lot worse than that. Douglas has spent much of his career as a content creator, but recently heard the calling to education and has joined the team at Empower Generations. Douglas, welcome to Eye on the Valley.
Good morning, Matt. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Hey, Douglas, you there?
It's a beautiful day.
I'm happy you, Douglas. Hang on just a second, Douglas. Yeah, he's there. You know who wasn't there?
I'm here.
Douglas, it was me. I wasn't there. Didn't have my headphones on.
Oh, it happened.
I swear I've done this before.
I was muted or you were muted.
So, Douglas, do me a favor. You are an instructional specialist at Empower Generations. Sorry about that. You're an instructional specialist at Empower Generations. What does an instructional specialist do?
Well, just like it sounds, I specialize in instruction. I work, right. One-on-one with the learners or in small groups, kind of a go-between between the facilitators and the learners, helping them, navigate their assignments, especially the freshmen, deal with tech issues, communicate with families, just handling the day-to-day.
Well, fantastic. And for our listeners, I apologize. I swear I've done this radio thing before. I promise. Got to have those headphones plugged in. All right, fantastic. So that sounds absolutely amazing. So stepping in and supporting learners wherever they need it. So I always like to ask my iLead guests about their journey to iLead, how they found us, because we still are kind of a smaller network of schools. Our marketing team does a great job trying to get the word out, but but I know your connection to our schools, Douglas, goes back well over a decade. But you are a newer employee. You've still got that new employee smell. Can you explain how you and your family came to know iLead?
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of, schools or companies will say that they feel like a family, but
Yeah.
iLead definitely does. My connection goes all the way back to 2014.
Yeah.
My lovely wife, Miss Tallene, started out with iLead back then, just after a simple job search. And she
Okay.
started in the classroom. She moved on to be an instructional coach. And I heard about this opportunity. And now my kids are in iLead as well. So all four of us are in the iLead family as of now.
Fantastic, and I want to break that down. I love that. So, yeah, your wife started working for us over a decade ago. It blows my mind. I still remember the day that she interviewed, but that was over a decade ago. She's working for
Oh,
us now.
wow.
You're working for us, and your kids are going to iLead. So, what school do your children attend currently? I know we've got 6 different schools.
Yes. So they're right here at the AV Antelope Valley Studio.
Okay, so
It's a
iLead Antelope
hybrid
Valley.
program. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, yeah, that's up on Avenue K there in Lancaster. So, gosh, it's an amazing school. iLead AV. That's one of those schools that's just got a wait list a mile long, and nobody ever leaves. So I'm glad your kids were able to find a spot. Yeah, it is an amazing campus. They are technically a hybrid school, but they have offerings Monday through Friday. Kids are required to be on campus 2 days a week, can be there up to 5 days a week. Their website for more information, just kind of a shameless plug for iLead AV. I know we're talking about Empower Generations today, but you can very easy check them out at iLeadAV.org. See the cool school that Douglas's kids go to. It's one of those last schools, Douglas, that still has a swimming pool on campus, doesn't it?
They do. What an amazing opportunity. The kids got to swim, in the warmer months, August, September. Super cool.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. They get to jump in the pool when it's, well, let's just say not super cool up in the Antelope Valley. So, and then we mentioned your wife. She's played several roles with us now over the past, what is it, 11, 12 years. What different positions has Tallene held in our organization?
Yeah, sure. So she started off in the classroom in elementary as a facilitator.
Okay.
She went on to become a reading specialist, and now she's an instructional coach. So she helps the new facilitators like myself.
Okay, yeah. So that's awesome. So yeah, kind of grown in that role and now supporting those that are in the same shoes that she was 11, 12 years ago. Fantastic. So let's get back to your new role. You work, as I said, at Empower Generations. For those who aren't as familiar with that campus, can you tell our listeners about the school? What is Empower Generations and what makes it so special, Douglas?
Certainly. Well, it's very unique. I've never seen a high school quite like it. Like you said, we support parenting teens, adult learners, at-risk youth. It's open concept. It's project-based. It also has the hybrid format, so where students can show up and be on campus to receive instruction every day. They can be hybrid and be on campus, 2 or 3 days a week and do the other days remote, or they can be fully remote. So we have, something for everybody. It's definitely an alternative environment, but a very accommodating and adaptive vibe to it.
Absolutely. You mentioned open format. Now, I've been there many, many times, and I know what you're talking about. But for those who wouldn't be as familiar, can you kind of take us on a little visual tour of the campus? What do you mean by open format?
Sure. So normally you'd walk into high school, maybe have a waiting area, hallway, bunch of doors, closed classrooms. We have a huge open space with different areas and different stations. I got to tease our mic'd up program. So if you're not in the recording booth, our soundproof recording room, then you're just in like an open, echoey space. So it's very unique, and the learners can work together, interact. We have a bunch of just open areas to do activities for filming. So it's different. You have to come see it to really see what I mean. I don't know that the words are doing it justice.
No, you did a good job, but I would say to our listeners, you're absolutely right. If this sounds like it could be the place for you, you really do have to go see it. I do want to hear about the Mic'd Up program. I think we'll get into that in just a couple of minutes. But we mentioned that that you serve a kind of a cross section of at-risk youth, but primarily pregnant and parenting teens. So if they're pregnant, their babies are kind of automatically portable. But what happens after the baby's born? Are they allowed to bring them to campus, or do they need to find childcare while they're going to school?
No, absolutely. So at Empower, you can bring your infant with you. We had a couple, mothers with newborns, and we have a space in the back, a little play area, changing area, places where the mothers have privacy. So, we basically welcome the whole family at that point, and the babies can be there right along with the moms. One time I was even, holding and helping feed the baby while the mother was taking her exam. So it's really cool. It's very unique, and it's very fulfilling to help, meet learners where they're at that phase in their life, in their journey.
Fantastic. So you take it back to what you said, that real family vibe that you and your family have found. Gosh, that really just takes it to the next level at Empower Generations when you do have, Douglas, the name of your school now starting to make sense to me. Empower Generations. You've got multiple generations on campus. I absolutely love that.
That's right.
Okay, so now let's go back to your role. You said as an instructional specialist, it's your job to work with and support learners. So now that we have an idea of what Empower Generations High School is and the population you serve and how you do it, what does your day-to-day interaction look like with the learners? So tell me how you work with the kids that you're working with there at Empower Generations High School.
Okay, great. So let's take our fully remote learners, for example.
All right.
So they might, send us a message asking for clarity about an assignment. We might hop on a phone call or a Zoom with them and just help keep them on track, right? And then you have your learners that are on campus every day. Well, they'll show up, they'll have breakfast, we'll get moving a little bit, listen to some music, have some conversations, and then we dive right into work. And with the open concept, literally all the resources are at their fingertips. So you got your instructional specialist helping you, whatever stage of learning you're at. You got your college counselor right there. You turn around, you can say, "Hi, Ms. Sherrill," get some advice on your college application or your transcripts. You got your facilitators right there. It's amazing. So we're there together, transitioning between algebra and history, from history to learning labs, from learning labs to mic'd up. And we're all there in the space together, empowering each other.
Fantastic. So yeah, imagine that. So talking to my listeners now, take yourself back to when you were in high school. Imagine being in high school and each and every one of your teachers was almost literally at an arm's length away. Even when you're in math class, your English teacher is just right around the corner, or even within a line of sight. Your college counselor is right there all the time. Can you imagine the support, whether it's, like I did in high school, you get a little bit squirrely and you need somebody to kind of nudge you back into line, or, you're really focusing and need that support, somebody to encourage you to help get you to that next level. And they're right there. They are right there. Your office manager, like I said, your college counselor, all your teachers, your school principal, amazing instructional specialists like Douglas Stevens, right there. Douglas Stevens, instructional specialist with Empower Generations High School in Lancaster, joins us this morning. When we get back, among other things, we're going to be talking about the work that they do to prepare their learners for college and career now in high school. You stay tuned. I'm Matt Watson, and this is SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley. You're listening to your hometown station, KHTS. Welcome back. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is Matt Watson, and you are listening to SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley. I've got my headphones on now, and I can hear everything. I am back with Douglas Stevens, instructional specialist with Empower Generations High School in Lancaster. Remember, they are a free public charter school serving, basically pretty much anyone who can get to the school in grades 9 through 12. Douglas, we were talking before about the school and your history coming to our organization, how iLead feels like a family to you, and it should, because your wife works for iLead, your kids go to iLead, you're an instructional specialist at Empower Generations. Douglas, let me ask you this. It sounds like a lot of fun, really warm, kind of close-knit environment up there. What do you enjoy most about working at Empower Generations High School?
Matt, before I answer that, I do have to correct one thing you said. You said that it's free, which it is, but you do have to pay attention. That's just the one caveat there.
Love me a good dad joke. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
but
it.
my favorite part is definitely watching the kids explore their creativity in the Mic'd Up program,
Right.
and just, using the arts as a way to express themselves. That's got to be my favorite thing, amongst all the goofing around and joking around we have in between the learning.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And there's a lot of rigorous learning. Kids are getting ready for for the different exams that they're taking, getting ready for college, getting ready for career. But y'all do have a lot of fun, and part of getting ready for career is that mic'd up program. We'll talk about it in a little bit. I'm hoping that we'll get to talk a little bit about Let It Out as well. But y'all focus pretty heavily, and I can see why. You focus on social emotional learning quite a bit. Can you explain what is social emotional learning and why that's so important, especially for the learners at Empower Generations?
Definitely. I mean, it's a holistic approach. I feel like you have to go beyond your core subjects of reading, writing, and arithmetic to be ready for the world. So with the advisory pathway and some of our other community partners that we bring in, we really focus on communication, building strong relationships, setting boundaries, learning time management skills, practicing for job interviews, navigating tricky social dynamics, just all the things that we want them to be ready for when they leave our doors and go out into the real world.
Yeah, it's just hitting me as you're touching on all those different things that y'all teach discreetly and have full on lessons on. Those are the kind of things that at my age I hear my friends all the time talk about. Why didn't they teach that in high school? These skills, these different things that we need in the real world. Why didn't they teach us that instead of quadratic equations and stuff like that? Don't get me wrong, all that math stuff is really important, but those social emotional, those soft skills are some of those things that really do prepare kids for their futures. And speaking of their futures, families are becoming a lot more savvy about making sure that their high schools are delivering what they need to deliver. I remember back in my day, it was like, God, I'm sounding old, Andrew. But I remember growing up, it was always, the high school teachers, the administrators, they're the experts. They know what you're supposed to be learning. But families nowadays are much more involved, much more savvy about making sure their high schoolers are prepared not only for college, but for career. And they're asking a lot of the right questions. So the questions that I hear often are, how are you preparing my kid to get in an excellent college? How are you preparing my kid for that next step when they step into career? So let me ask you about these two opportunities. First of all, does Empower Generations High School offer concurrent enrollment at the local junior college, Douglas?
Yes, we work closely with AVC. I know they're offering a childhood development class this semester that some of our learners are plugged into, and they do receive college credit for that.
Fantastic. So they're taking college classes, they're receiving college credit, but they also get high school credit, correct?
I believe so, yes. That's my understanding, yep.
Yeah. So taking courses at Antelope Valley College, getting high school credit, college credit. It's one of the few opportunities in life where you get to actually double dip like that. And then you talk about being prepared for college. The mystique is gone. If you've already taken college classes before you graduate high school, then you know and feel comfortable with taking those college courses. Not only are you ready to get in, you're going to be college viable, which means you're going to be much less apt to drop out. Now, another question that families ask me is career. My kid's going into a career that doesn't necessarily require college, or maybe it does, but they want to get some job experience. That old catch-22 of you can't get experience without having experience. But career technical education, they refer to it as CTE. We have a lot of acronyms in education. Career technical education are courses in high school that prepare kids for a specific career path. Do you have CTE courses on your campus, Douglas?
Yes, sir, we do. This is what I've been so excited to share with you.
All right.
So Mic'd Up, that's our program, our career technical education pathway in arts, media, entertainment. And the kids get hands-on experience learning how to work with production equipment. We have built a recording studio. We have video cameras. We have studio lighting, microphones, podcast setup, green screen, the whole nine. So it's really exciting. And I know you mentioned Let It Out. We've added some other community partners, one of which is Go Above. And they come in, they work with the students and teach them skills, help them get certified in different creative softwares. And they also offer internships, summer jobs, apprenticeships, that sort of thing. So you don't even have to wait until you graduate to put these skills to use.
Wow. So can you give us a little bit of a taste of what the kids are doing? You mentioned you've got a recording studio, you've got the sound equipment, you're working with all the community partners. So what does it look like as these kids are, because it's not just going in there and playing around and singing songs. What are the kids doing on a regular basis, and how is that preparing them for career?
Oh, absolutely. So, I mean, they're literally writing songs and going in the booth and recording them with the help of an actual audio engineer. We've got guest lecturers that come in and, show them how they can actually make money working on set, working behind the scenes, just kind of painting a vivid picture of what these pathways can develop into as a career. So in addition to recording songs, they're making podcasts, editing short films, learning how to set up the lights and manipulate them. So, as far as performing arts, a lot of places will offer, stage opportunities in theaters.
Sure.
But we actually have a recording studio where they can actually go in there and have something tangible that they can be proud of and to share.
And you've got all these resources right there on one small, intimate campus. It's a place where kids can go, they can get connected and dialed in, and nobody's getting lost, nobody's falling through the cracks at Empower Generations, are they, Douglas?
That's right. We'll notice right away.
Yeah, absolutely. Is there anything that we're missing? Anything else that you wanted to share with before you go, Douglas?
Well, I wanted to give a shout out to my kids' school, the AV Studio. They had their winter performance last night. Yeah. And they actually participated in a performance of the Nutcracker over at LPAC. That was exciting. And everyone's just, doing grades, getting ready for the holidays. And give a shout out to all my facilitators, instructional specialists, directors, learners, everybody, and happy holidays.
Fantastic and great plug. Yeah, because we've been talking with Douglas about Empower Generations, which is iLead's only exclusively high school, but throughout our network we do offer grades TK through 12, and like Douglas said, they are free public charter schools. The only thing you need to pay is attention. So Douglas, I know today's, I believe, the last day of school of the first semester. Your kids and staff are going on break, coming back in January to start that second semester. Do y'all have spots open? Are you enrolling for second semester for anybody that's interested?
Actually, yes, we are. We do have spots open in a couple of the grades, I believe. Yep.
Okay. All right, fantastic. So how do folks get more information? How do they apply? Like I said, if they're interested in what they're hearing and want to apply at Empower Generations, how do they get more information?
You can simply go to our website, empowergenerations.org. You can fill out an application, sign up to take a tour of the campus, and, just come down and say hello.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking at the website, and it's right there, upper right-hand corner. It's click to apply, click to take a tour, and it's the amazing staff will welcome you in warmly. You can bring your kids over to take a look, and again, you can bring multiple generations of the family to Empower Generations, free public high school. They are on Avenue L in Lancaster. And you can, like I said, fill out, or like Douglas said, fill out an application, sign up to take a tour. Douglas Stevens, Instructional Specialist with Empower Generations High School in Lancaster. Douglas, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you calling in today. Hey, enjoy your winter break, and we'll see you soon.
My pleasure. Thank you so much. Take care.
You too. One more time, that's empowergenerations.org. Check them out, take a tour, and enroll today. Stay tuned. There's a lot more coming up, including in hour number 2. We have got City Councilman Jason Gibbs on his run for Congress. I am Matt Watson. You are listening to SCVi and iLead Schools Eye on the Valley. We'll be right back on your hometown station, KHTS. Welcome back. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. I am your host, Matt Watson, and you are listening to SCVi and iLead Schools Eye on the Valley. We just spoke with Douglas Stevens, Instructional Specialist with Empower Generations Charter High School. It really is such an amazing school. If you're anywhere near the Lancaster area and you've got high schoolers that are looking for something that meets their unique needs, a much, and I'm talking much smaller high school experience where your kids are going to have immediate access not only to every one of their teachers, but their counselor, their principal, any one of the support staff. Check them out at empowergenerations.org. They're just doing amazing things. It's an independent study school with the opportunity for kids to be on campus every day if they need to be. You heard Douglas talk about how he's got some students that he supports that are fully remote because, they're working full time, but they're still working on getting their high school diploma, or perhaps they're hybrid because their schedules are a little bit chaotic. But most of the kids are on campus all day, every day, and the staff there at Empower Generations is providing an amazing second chance for some students and others who just thrive in a much smaller environment than those much, much, much larger high schools. I didn't know what it's like to feel lost on a campus where you're just, swimming around and, you're just one of many, many, many. But that is not the case, honestly, at any of our iLead schools. We pride ourselves on making those strong bonds with each one of our learners, getting to know them as the individuals they are, as well as their families. And that's how we're able to do what we do at each and every one of our iLead schools. We like to say that we provide that private school experience for the public school price, where you're part of a close-knit community that cares for each other, that takes care of each other, and helps you and your kids get to the next level in their education. But at the same time, like I said, for that very, very free public school price. So again, check them out at empowergenerations.org if you've got a high schooler up in the Lancaster area. If you've got students anywhere across Southern California, TK through 12th grade, and you're looking for a different school experience for them, we've got 6 different schools that are meeting the needs of kids, like I said, across Southern California. Check out all of our schools at iLeadSchools.org. So once again, thank you to Douglas Stevenson from Empower Generations. Coming up just after the 9 o'clock hour, we're going to sit down with Councilman Jason Gibbs. I've been chasing Gibbs for the better part of the month, trying to get him in here to talk about, not only everything that's going on in and around the city of Santa Clarita, but he's announced that he's running for congressman as well. So we're going to talk about his plans for if and when he gets elected. So yeah, there's been a lot going on in the city recently. Controversial development projects, turmoil on the planning commission, development around town. This proposed 8-story courthouse. So we'll talk about all that stuff. And if it weren't enough, he's running for Congress. So we've got some national level questions to ask him as well. Again, that's just after 9 o'clock. But it is another, I say it week after week. It's almost getting trite when I look out the window of the studio here and say, it's another beautiful Friday. But hey, like Randy Newman said, it's just another perfect day here in LA. It's going to be an absolutely amazing weekend. Andrew, you got plans this weekend? What are you up to?
Actually, it's going to be shopping. Yes, I have waited until the absolutely last weekend to shop before Christmas next week and the holidays. So I'll be out there with every other seemingly, man out there, I guess, that waited to the last minute to go shopping.
You're right. It does seem to be, kind of balance the gender roles, right? A lot more guys are out there this weekend doing their shopping. It is that last chance to get your shopping done. I know I've got some to do as well. By the way, you might recognize the voice here on Eye on the Valley. We call him Engineer Andrew. You may know him as Delgado in the morning. But I've got some shopping to do this weekend as well. But for those of you who are already done, or for those of you who might not be done but still refuse to fight the crowds and don't want to have to compete with Delgado for that parking spot in the mall, and you do what I do, you just jump on Amazon and click it and forget it.
If it doesn't come in 2 days, usually I don't want it.
There we go. I got most of my big stuff out of the way, that stuff that takes time to transit. I may have to, bump on over and pick up a couple of cards or some, some tape and wrapping paper. But other than that, nephews and nieces, they always want the gift cards.
It's looking like a lot of money envelopes is going to be in the tree.
And you know what? That's okay, because that's what the kids want anyways. But yeah, for those of you who are already done or just done with it, and you're looking for some fun stuff to do this weekend, if you were listening to the commercials, you heard our good friend Jen Sparks talking about it. For example, the holiday classic, The Nutcracker. So this holiday season, come to see Santa Clarita Ballet's 2025 production of The Nutcracker. It is the perfect holiday experience. You can see it every year, and if your kids haven't seen it, it's the perfect time to introduce them to that holiday classic. Again, The Nutcracker, Saturday, December 20th at 1 p.m. and 7 p.m., Sunday, December 21st at 1 p.m. only. So you got 3 shows to check out this weekend. Saturday, 1 p.m. and 7 p.m., and Sunday, 1 p.m. The show will be at the Santa Clarita Performing Arts Center there at College of the Canyons, and you can buy tickets at the box office or online. I'll tell you how in just a minute. Hang tight. But first, be careful. You'll shoot your eye out, kid. That's right, the Kenyon Theater Guild, just down the street from our studios, is putting on its rendition of the modern classic, A Christmas Story. It's a family favorite that chronicles 9-year-old Ralphie Parker in his quest to get a genuine, you remember, Red Ryder BB gun under the tree for Christmas. Ralphie pleads his case before his mother, his teacher, and even Santa Claus himself at Higbee's department store, only to be told, no, kid, you'll shoot your eye out. So, yeah, grab the kids. It'll be a great experience for the whole family. Head out to the Canyon Theater Guild. That is December 17th through the 23rd. Again, you can check out the Theater Guild's website for tickets or more information. I'll tell you in just a minute. Or how about a Christmas morning musical celebration? And you know what? You don't even have to wait until Christmas morning to get it. Valencia Christian Center is offering a Christmas morning musical celebration. It's going to be absolutely stunning. Join Valencia Christian Center on Sunday, December 21st at 10 a.m. for a Christmas morning musical celebration featuring talented recording artists Latrice Lawrence and Miriam Bryan. That is, again, Sunday, December 21st, 10 a.m. at Valencia Christian Center. No tickets needed. Just roll on up and roll on in. And the Mission Opera has actually a couple of different shows to offer you this weekend. That's right. Did you realize that we have an opera in town? Well, it's actually based out of Mission College, but every one of their performances takes place here in Santa Clarita. The incredible Dr. Josh Wentz runs the Mission Opera, and we are so blessed. Gosh, what other town of 300,000 has not only 2 live stage venues just right down the street from each other, but also has a full professional opera in town? We do, and they put on some absolutely great shows. So first, every month they put together Bella Notte. What an amazing idea. What an incredible experience. You talk about dinner and a show. You get one of the most premier dinners and one of the most premier shows in town, all without leaving the same chair. So yeah, taking place every 3rd Saturday of the month is Bella Notte. That's a beautiful night in Italian. Presented by Mission Opera, it blends the worlds of Italian fine dining, live opera, and community support. Guests will enjoy an authentic Italian meal, fine wine, and handcrafted cocktails as professional opera singers provide live entertainment in an intimate setting. You can find that this Saturday, December 20th at 6:30 p.m. at Bella Cucina Italian Restaurant, right there in the heart of Saugus. So yeah, absolutely. Dinner and a show without ever having to get up to move to a second location. It is absolutely fantastic. Check out Bella Notte at the Mission Opera's website. And then, if that weren't enough, Mission Opera is also providing this Sunday Amal and the Night Visitors. One of their very first traveling productions, Amal and the Night Visitors, has become a cherished part of Mission Opera's touring repertoire. We continue to bring this heartfelt story to multiple venues each season, sharing its timeless message with new audiences year after year. So that's sure to be an amazing show. When you ask, well, this Saturday, December 21st, well, no, that'd be Sunday, December 21st, 4 to 5 p.m. at St. Stephen's Episcopal Church. So yeah, the Mission Opera, they don't kill any grass. They move around out there. Saturday, they're going to be at Bella Cucina Italian Restaurant with Bella Notte. Sunday, they're going to be at St. Stephen's Episcopal Church at 4 to 5 p.m. with Amal and the Night Visitors. So there you have it. Lots of great stuff out there this weekend for those of you who have finished your holiday shopping, unlike Andrew and I. And for those of you who haven't, it's simple. Just get me an Amazon gift card, and I will be happy. So, Andrew, tell me.
You can't beat it.
You can't beat the gift card. But, you know, I think it's a generational thing, right? Because, like, my kids, my nephews and nieces, when I ask what they want, they say, money. Or
Money.
okay,
Easy.
fine. We know you won't give us cash, so give us a gift card. They're happy with that. They won't even give me other ideas, right? But that doesn't fly for mom and dad. They always say the same thing. Oh, you don't have to get me anything.
You don't have to give me anything, but you end up giving them the gifts.
But you got to,
course.
right? What
you
don't have to give me. You don't have to give me anything. What that means is you better come correct. You better get something special.
Oh, it'll be brought up like, wow, you didn't give me a gift.
Oh.
Okay.
For years. So let's talk how much in far of percentages. How done are you? How much do you have left this week?
I have. Okay, I was gonna inflate it a little bit to make myself sound better. I'm about halfway.
All right.
Let's do that. But again, I just have a trip to the bank, and then that's going to be most of it, then a card pack of 8, and then just handwritten notes there. And as I've gotten older, like this year's been a little odd because I did take a cruise earlier this month.
Nice.
So everything's kind of been put off a week or so, and then so I came into it. I put my decorations up before I left to make sure they had those up.
Perfect.
But I didn't even buy a tree.
Oh.
A big tree. I usually get we have one here in the studio. It's about a 5 to 6 foot tree, a real tree every year.
Right.
You can't go fake. I refuse.
I'm with you.
I refuse. You have to have a real tree, at least one, and then you can have, if you have multiple trees, have a fake one in the kitchen or whatever it may be.
But yeah, nothing beats that smell of a real pine tree dying in your living room. Yeah.
And people say, "Oh, you can buy the sticks, the cinnamon sticks or the pine tree sticks." No, that's not the same.
No.
It's
That's
not
to
the
hang
same.
on your
It's the whole
rearview mirror,
deal
not your
of
living room.
Yeah, and a lot of the excuses with that is, it's up. We just have to fluff it up, and then the lights are already on it. No, the whole idea is to decorate the tree and do all that. Put on the Christmas music with your family and do that whole deal.
But you haven't done that whole deal.
I didn't even do that.
Dude,
so I still might buy like a Charlie Brown tree, like a 1-footer, and just put that just to say I did it.
There you go. I feel like it. You and I have more in common than I even thought. It might be that single man syndrome.
Yeah.
Because I'm with you. I'm about halfway done with my Christmas shopping. It's the difficult half that I got done early because I've got so much of my family kind of dispersed throughout the country. We got Big T up in Central Washington now, and his kids are spread out throughout the country, and then the other things for my kids and stuff like that. So I got about half of the stuff, the difficult stuff done. It's more the easy stuff. What I am dreading is, I still have to go pick up that Christmas tree. Because,
and and with that, I watch the movies, and it's always odd when people, that always bugged me when they decorated the tree or got the tree on Christmas Day or the day
Christmas
before
Eve,
or Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Like, what's the point?
well...
Like, what? No.
Like,
why even bother?
The point is with me. So I was always one of those magic of Christmas kind of guys, and I always wanted to build. Mostly, it was about building memories for my kids, right?
Yeah.
But you know me, my kids are grown and flown, and so it's just me around my place. So day after Thanksgiving, bam, 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 bam. I got the Christmas lights up. I got a couple of decorations around the house, and I just haven't. It's like, I got to go out and get a Christmas tree this weekend. Yeah, but that Army-Navy game was amazing last weekend. And we've had some great sports going on, and I just kind of been dragging it out. But, the kids are coming over on Christmas morning, so I better get a tree, and I don't want to do It's funny. I think it was the last year my son lived with me. He and I did some traveling, and we were doing some stuff, and we didn't end up getting a tree until it was like the 23rd. I think I had to drive down to San Fernando before I could actually find any place that had a tree at all. So I got to get out there. Shoot, I might do that tonight.
I think at that point I would take anything, and even if it had, again, that, we all know the Charlie Brown Christmas tree, the one that has maybe 2 roots and a leaf on it. But I think that would build a memory on its own. Like, remember the one time we got the tree nobody wanted, the one in the corner, and yeah. And it's probably at 80% off because they have to get rid of it.
Exactly. But yeah, I'll be going out to get that tree. I'll probably get a shorter one as well. Just take a few minutes to throw some decorations on there. But yeah, it's got to be Christmas when my kids walk through that front door on Christmas morning. But you said you got yourself a Christmas gift, an early Christmas gift. You sent yourself on a cruise. Where'd you go?
Yeah, so went down to Mexico. Went straight to Cabo.
All right.
Went there and. It was a little scary because, in the forecast, it was going to be a chance of rain, cloudy.
Okay.
But the cruise gods opened up the doors.
Nice.
And it was hot in the 80s. It was perfect. I'm like, this is December, and I'm at the beach in the water. Right? It's fantastic. Couldn't beat it, and I came home, and then it was cloudy here. I'm like, okay. it was that 1 week where, it was just awful here. But I'm like, oh, it kind of sucks for you guys. But I'll send a picture from the beach.
That is phenomenal. And like I said, I feel like you and I are living parallel lives because I just last night got myself an early Christmas gift and bought a cruise, and I'm heading down for New Year's. I'm heading to the other side of Mexico, so I'm going to go see, the pyramids and the Chichen Itza and all that stuff.
And last year, my parents went on the cruise for New Year's, and they said it was an absolute blast. They had fireworks going off everywhere for New Year's, and it was just so much fun. So you're going to have an awesome
I am looking forward to it. I took my first cruise just this past year, about 6 months ago. Took my first cruise ever up to Alaska. Absolutely loved it. It's a great way to see some of those bucket list places. So I'm checking another one.
It's gonna be different.
Yeah,
it's not gonna be the Alaska cruise. I'll tell you that.
No, not gonna be Alaska at all. But did Alaska in the summer, doing Mexico in the winter. I feel like I've got this thing figured out. So yeah, stick around, stay tuned. Coming up in hour number 2, we will have a long sit down with Councilman Jason Gibbs. His run for Congress is heating up, and there's a lot popping in and around town that we need to discuss as well. You won't want to miss it. I am Matt Watson, and you're listening to SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley. We will be right back on your hometown station, KHTS. Welcome back. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is Matt Watson, and you are listening to SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley. Coming up in just a few minutes, we've been talking about it all morning, just a couple more minutes. We will have an extended sit-down with Councilman Jason Gibbs on all of the different hot topics around town. We will also discuss his campaign for Congress coming up. So, yeah, that's coming up in just a couple of minutes. So settle in, get comfortable, make sure you've got a good signal because we're going to be talking about all of it with the Councilman Gibbs. And, we spoke earlier this morning with Douglas Stevens, Instructional Specialist at Empower Generations High School in Lancaster. He talked about the amazing programming and how they are developing highly individualized educational pathways for every one of their individual learners. How in the heck can a high school prepare an individual pathway for each and every one of their learners? Well, it's easy when you've got 100 of them and not 4,000. So, yeah, you can check them out at empowergenerations.org. That's empowergenerations.org. And remember, just like all of our iLead schools, they are a free public charter school, completely free. We've got schools for kids in TK through 12th grade. We've got online. We've got home study. We've got campus-based. We've got whatever your child needs, whether they're 4 years old or 18. So check us out at ileadschools.org for more information. We talked about all the amazing things to do in and around town this weekend, and I kept telling you I'd be giving you some information as to how to get more, I'd be telling you how to get more information on the different events around town, and I just didn't. So, you can check out what's happening this weekend and every weekend by going to the KHTS website, hometownstation.com, and click on web features to see what's happening this weekend near you. But, if you are not like Engineer Andrew and I, and you are all done with your Christmas shopping, and you're just looking to snuggle up and wrap yourself in the Christmas season, and just bathe yourself in Christmas this weekend, we have got a list. Nay, we have got the list for you. I don't know if you've heard, but there's this mysterious group around town that for the last few months has been publishing a top 5 list every week. They are a group of scientists that get together in the lab every Saturday morning and put together a top 5 list, and they cover things from top 5 candies to top 5 children's books to, recently they did top 5 Christmas movies. So if, like I said, you're looking to just smell the smell of that fresh pine tree that's sitting in your living room because it's all about the real tree, not the fake tree, and you're going to snuggle up with a Christmas movie, or maybe you're going to check out all 5, we've got the top 5 for you. So are you ready? Here we go.
Let's go. I'm interested.
All right. We have got number 5, Miracle on 34th Street.
Now, which version?
Oh, the original version. Okay. It is the original version. I'm all about the original version. In fact, according to the committee, this one just bumped past the original version of A Preacher's Wife.
Okay.
You ever seen that one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
You seen the original? You seen the remake?
Both, yes. Yes, I
Okay,
have.
so now we're dipping down into number 6. But yeah, Miracle on 34th Street was number 5 on the list. It is the original. For those of you who have stopped believing and need that little reminder, check out Miracle on 34th Street. Number 4, Home Alone. It is that modern classic. It reached its pinnacle about 15 years ago of being just slightly annoying, where everybody was parodying it, everybody was giving their take on Home Alone. But it is that Christmas classic. I think perfectly written, perfectly done, and Macaulay Culkin. He's got to be, maybe the committee should consider that list, top 5 child actors of all time. Macaulay Culkin's got to be on that list.
Yeah, and he's finally coming around now. Like, he kind of went to, a hiatus, kind of that dark little hole
rough
there.
upbringing, right?
A little bit.
He had to get himself in check.
But he's back now, and he's all about Home Alone. He's done commercials and cameos and things like that. He's embracing it fully.
And he's a serious actor. He's a good actor as an adult as well. But number 3, and this happens to be my favorite of all time, it is not Christmas time until I watch it. In fact, typically what I do is at Black Friday, I'm not the one that gets up and goes out for bargain shopping. Nope. I sleep in on Black Friday. I deal with the turkey-induced coma and then just wake up whenever I get a chance. And I know it's Christmas when I watch number 3, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Like, hopefully, because I'm the exact. Are we the same person?
I think you and I might be the same person. Absolutely, it's actually
the Griswolds.
Funny.
Come on.
Oh yeah, I went over to my mom's house last night for a little bit of dessert, and we were chatting. And one of her neighbors here in Valencia just goes absolutely Griswold. Every year, they got lights not only around the eaves, they've got lights on the front of the house. All over the bushes, they've got lights on the front lawn. Yes, in true Clark Griswold style, they've got white lights that line the rooftop about 1.5 feet apart across the entire rooftop like a football field. And if that weren't enough, they don't wrap, they cover all 4 of their cars with Christmas lights. All 4 of their cars are covered with Christmas lights. I just can't imagine being on a desert road without any street lights on, and you see this like just glowing ball of nuclear waste coming at you. They go so yeah. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation is number 3. Number 2 on the list is, and this one we got a little bit of blowback, and I think it's just some of those oldsters that are curmudgeons wanted to bump this off the list. Maybe they had a problem with the lead in this movie, but I'm sorry. No, the committee says it, and they are right. Number 2 of all time is Elf.
Oh,
Elf.
Okay, who had issue with that?
apparently, the committee also customizes to a lot of folks. Well, I don't know. But Elf, all-time classic. It's got everything. It's got that magic of Christmas in it. It's got. I mean, you're gonna have to watch it. If you've never seen Elf, you're gonna have to watch it twice because you're gonna be laughing so hard that you miss the next joke. And then it's also got just a little bit, just enough of, just. Like you dip just a little something in your eggnog. It's got just a little bit of romance dipped into your Elf.
Yeah,
and
it has everything. Fun. Some mature, the adult jokes that they'll get. The kids,
Sure.
they have it all there. It's really a family movie. It has something for everyone. Romance, whatever you have.
Yeah. Oh,
Elf. It's perfect Christmas classic for a reason.
It is
good number 2.
It is amazing. Yeah. And that's what we all want on Christmas is a good number 2. There we go. And here we go. Now we have gotten down to the number 1, and I know people are screaming at their radios, what about this movie? Well, here it is. It is the number 1 top Christmas movie of all time. Have you seen the list already, Andrew?
I have not.
So do you know where I'm going? Do you want to guess?
Oh, I would have said Elf.
You would have said Elf as your number 1?
I would have said Elf as number 1.
All right, so what's missing from the list?
Well, you have my Christmas Vacations there. Elf is there.
Yep.
Mine would go more for my humor, but that's not going to be on the list. I would have said Bad Santa is on there, but that's an honorable mention.
Okay, maybe honorable mention.
Okay, are we going classic or are we going current classic? Recent classic?
So, all right. So, yeah, well, it's classic.
Okay. Okay. It has to be A Wonderful Life?
It's A Wonderful
There
Life.
it is.
Absolutely. That's typically one that I settle down and I'll watch like early in the day on Christmas Eve. It's just, it's absolutely perfect.
It
Perfect
hits
film.
on the classic, the nostalgia of not necessarily the time period, but of you watching it over the years.
Oh, yeah.
And bringing that back, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And it just warms you with how important friends are, how important family is, and it just helps provide that perfect perspective for Christmas. So there you have it. You have your top 5 Christmas movies of all time. You enjoy them this weekend. But hey, don't go away. We've got Jason Gibbs. He's walking into the studio right now. We'll talk to him about everything going on in the city as well as his campaign for Congress. You stay tuned. I'm Matt Watson, and this is SCVi and iLead Schools Eye on the Valley. You're listening to your hometown station, KHTS. Welcome back. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is Matt Watson, and you are listening to SCVi and iLead Schools Eye on the Valley. And here in studio with us is my next guest, Councilman Jason Gibbs. He is Principal Engineer of West Coast Operations with the aerospace company GP Strategies. Since moving to Santa Clarita in 2012, Jason and his wife Chandra have been incredibly active in the community, usually with their beautiful children Aiden and Avery in tow. Jason was elected in 2020 to the Santa Clarita City Council and was just re-elected a little over a year ago. And recently recognized recently recognized as the most powerful man in Santa Clarita. He is now making a run for Congress. Councilman Gibbs, welcome back to Eye on the Valley.
Matt, thanks for having me. Well, the most powerful. It was influential, but you added a different word there. I love it.
Well, influential. Well, that's power is influence. Influence is power.
That list is almost as big a deal as this top 5 list I'm seeing all over Facebook these days.
Well, it's this very scientific committee that's gotten together to let folks know what's what. All right. Jason, you know me. I always like to start with the why. I'm a Simon Sinek guy. So let's share a little bit because let's be honest. A lot easier, a lot more relaxed, maybe even a lot more harmonious lifestyle would be to enjoy an amazing career, enjoy 100%. An amazing family, and just kind of hang with it. But you spend, I would say, 99% of your free time in the community and serving the community through city council and all your different work on different boards, things like that.
Yeah.
So what's your why? Why did you decide to get into politics? And now that you're comfortably into your second term in the council, why did you decide to run for Congress?
Oh, they're great questions, Matt. They still keep me up at night 5 years later, too, let me tell you. When I first got involved with the city council race, I've told you this story before,
Yes, you
and fortunately it hasn't changed, so no one can ever call me on it. It was having children. It was Chandra and I starting a family, and that realization that our life was expanding past ourselves into something bigger. And for me, it was looking at Aiden when he was just a little baby and realizing it's my job now not just to raise this young man, and Avery would come next, but it was not just to raise this young family anymore. It was to present them with a father figure who was committed to them and committed to their community. And so it was never going to be about politics. I never had an active mind in politics. I used to enjoy reading Supreme Court decisions. I thought they were kind of interesting, and that's just the master's degree geeky engineering side of me, if you will.
Nerd.
Thank you. Yes, what a nerd. Thank you. But that was all, you also saw some of the best arguments, and I always thought that politics should be heavy on the philosophical side. And I loved watching Justice Scalia and Justice Ginsburg have two very different approaches to what government is and be able to discuss it and to be friends. So that's why I always loved reading those Supreme Court decisions. So I actually started to look to get involved in the community just from the nonprofit side. So I found, as you're a big supporter of the SCVi Boys and Girls Club.
Correct.
I grew up it was called the Boys Club back in Goleta growing up. They added girls eventually. But to the name, the girls were always there.
Oh, okay.
But Girls Incorporated showed up when I was growing up in Santa Barbara, and boys could go, but they didn't change their name. But that's a topic for another day. But I lived in the Boys and Girls Club, and they really helped raise me. So I loved getting involved with them here in Santa Clarita. My dad was always a big supporter of the Salvation Army and the work that they did. They've been around a long time. And so I got involved with Salvation Army, and I still serve on both of those advisory boards. And then it kept rolling down. It was the Wish Education Foundation, the Michael Hoffman Foundation. You name that nonprofit, I was there.
Yeah, you were.
Because it was both a piece of being active, giving back, but that's where you really learn about the heart and soul of Santa Clarita. The politic piece, it just kind of happened. And there's really two versions of it. The funny version I love to share is I had a friend who ran for city council in San Luis Obispo.
I remember this.
And he lost. And he told me, hey, we had a deal. If I ever did this, you were going to do this. And it was at the time the appointment was happening for Dante Acosta after he had won his assembly seat. And so I went and applied to City Hall, and I was one of the 50 people who showed up at that council meeting, the only one without a tie because maybe I didn't know any better. And and it just went from there. And I met with Bob Keller and all of our council members, and as time went on, I ended up getting elected. And I've loved it. It has been an absolute honor to serve on the city council. Moving that over to Congress, Congress was never on my mind.
Right.
I supported the people that we had in the Assembly and the Senate and Congress at the time. I loved Mike Garcia, fantastic man, incredible person.
Well, you and I had a conversation, very candid, private conversation
but now
about
it's
your
public. Let's
future
go.
plans. But you're right. Just a couple years ago, and I asked you, so what are your plans for the future? Congress never came out of your mouth.
No, it didn't.
Yeah.
Because serving in any capacity, I believe that it should never be about what's next.
Okay.
It's about what more can you give.
Okay.
And so after the past election, I had a conversation with the former Congressman Mike, and it was very candid. And I think Mike was disappointed he lost. But at the same time, his time in Congress has allowed him to give back and to be involved in policy in a way that he wasn't able to do before. And it gave him an access point that's been very beneficial to him in moving things forward. He thinks is going to be better for the country. And when we talked, he said, Jason, I truly believe that there's only two people that's going to win this seat, and it's you or me, and I'm not running.
Oh.
And I said, well, that didn't leave a lot.
Okay.
And so I had a conversation with Chandra, and we all had dinner together with Mike and Becca. And Chandra was the final impetus for me. I said, I didn't realize that everything I was doing was setting me up to be a potential leader at the congressional level, to be someone who could run and win. And I told her, I said, if you don't want me to do this, I'm good. I love the city council. I'm more than happy to stay local and be with our young kids. But I'm willing to do this for our community and go to D.C. and represent Santa Clarita and the Antelope Valley and the San Fernando Valley in a way that I think is personal and local, and I think that's what's missing in D.C.
Yeah.
And I said, but if you want me to stay, I will stay, and that's fine too. And much to my surprise, in a lot of ways, she was fully on board.
Because it is a huge commitment, right?
Huge.
Because now you're not talking about being away at night at the different events and things. You're on the other side of the country.
You're gone.
So that can't be easy. I'm sure you talked to Congressman Garcia about the strain that can put on a family.
We did, and that was a really important conversation. And I looked at Becca when we first sat down. I said, "Be completely honest. You're not sugarcoating anything.
Yeah.
Because I need to know as well.
Yeah.
And I travel a lot for work, but this is different.
Yeah, it is.
And jokingly, and I say this jokingly because it was funny. After Chandra was okay, we were chatting, and I said, Chandra, you're gone 30 weeks out of the year. Monday through Thursday, maybe you're catching that red eye back. While I'm gone, I expect you to be faithful. She looked me dead in the eye and said, when would I have time for anyone else? And I looked at her and said, well, good conclusion, but not the right answer. So we make light of it. And but the reality is, she works full time. She's a biomedical engineer, a project manager, getting ready to start a new job. So her world's starting to change a little bit too. Our kids are growing up way too fast.
They do that.
And so it's very challenging, and it's very scary, but it's incredible too.
Yeah,
it's really incredible.
So things are happening fast and furious here locally as well as nationally. Californians recently passed Proposition 50, which will redraw district lines. So first of all, how do you feel about Prop 50, and how's that going to affect your race for Congress?
Oh, it affects. I wasn't a fan of it, and I don't even need to look at Prop 50 from any sort of partisan lens. Yes, Prop 50 was the counterpunch, if you will, to what Texas was doing in their midterm, and you can go online and see any number of debates about it. But when we, as a city council, we opposed it. We opposed Prop 50 unanimously, and I believe the city of Lancaster did as well. And it wasn't because of partisan politics. If you go back to 22, the city supported the lines that the redistricting committee set up, even though it pulled Simi Valley out of the 27th congressional. And on a partisan line, that hurts Republican candidates. But as a city, we unanimously supported it because it made the city and the Santa Clarita Valley whole. We had one assembly member, we had one state senator, we had one congressional member. And we felt that connection and having that single advocacy point was a huge benefit to us. And we think it made for better government and a better voice for the Santa Clarita Valley and beyond. So Prop 50 comes along, and in order to do this partisan counterpunch, we lost the east side of the 14. You lose Sand Canyon on the east side. You lose Acton. You lose Agua Dulce. In Santa Clarita Valley, we lost Castaic. And all of a sudden, Castaic's a part of, I think, Julia Brownlee's district, which goes all the way into Oxnard. The east Acton, Agua Dulce, Sand Canyon, I think now runs into Congresswoman Friedman's district, which I believe is all the way down maybe into Glendale, I think, if I'm remembering the lines right. And then for us, we still go up into Lancaster and Palmdale, but Lancaster gets bifurcated. The Antelope Valley got bifurcated into 5 different pieces. And that was my big issue with Prop 50. I understood why it happened. I didn't agree with what Texas did, and I didn't agree what California decided to do. Because I think it's going to make for worse representation. I really do.
The Antelope Valley being represented by 5 different representatives, how do you get anything moved forward on a national level for your community?
I honestly, Matt, I don't believe that you do. And, it's a reality. And Mayor Pro Tem Ayala made a fantastic point when this was being discussed. It was, if you take, for example, if the majority of your new district, right, if Castaic is only 5 to 10% of the voting block and you get 85 to 90% of the voting block elsewhere, you get left out. You get left out of the thought and the discussion because so often it's all about what do I need to do to get reelected? And you need to go where your votes are. And so for us, your votes were all here. So every voice from Castaic to the east side to Acton, Agua Dulce, and Santa Clarita, all that was under one person. And it made for better access, and I think it made for better representation.
So that idea of voice and representation is an interesting one here in the 27th district. It's been one of the most competitive swing seats in the country. I mean, all eyes in D.C. are constantly on the 27th. How do you plan to balance your personal affiliation with the reality of a very purple district?
No, it is very purple. The district has definitely changed over the years. The days of Congressman Buck McKeon are gone. We're not as red as we used to be. But that's okay. I'd say for me, Matt, we have spent my entire time in government has been nonpartisan and local. That thought process has never changed. My political affiliation and being involved in the Republican Party, that isn't what drives what you do as an elected official. For me, you do what is right. You do what works. You do what represents this community. And this community has done everything from what could be considered left-leaning with the open space district and the thousands of acres that we preserve. And we could do things that are considered very right and conservative-leaning economically because of how we run our budgets and how we stay financially stable and financially capable in order to do great things. Every action we take has never been about partisanship. And it being a purple district, that's what the purple district looks for. It's not looking for somebody that's going to go look to their majority leader in the House and say, what are we voting on today and how am I voting? They're looking for somebody that's going to say, what are we voting on today and how does that affect the people in the 27th? And so I have a track record now as a local council member who has done just that. And I'd like to think that after my first election in 20, going into 24, when we moved into districts, I was unopposed. And I don't think it's because I gave people the wrong address where City Hall was so they couldn't actually sign up to vote. I think it's because my district, in terms of District 3, is very purple as well. And no one decided to challenge me. And I'd like to think it was because the representation that I provided to Santa Clarita and now to this specific district wasn't partisan. And it was always about people.
Yeah, absolutely. And the people of the 27th District really value education. You know, we're an education show. In fact, most people here in Santa Clarita have come for the safety, the affordability, and the great schools. Now, with the Trump administration currently dismantling the Department of Education, how would you support education in Washington?
I mean, education changed the life for my family. My dad was the first in his family to go to college, and he raised four boys. And the mission for him, for all of us, was college and higher education is what changed his life, and it's what's going to change yours. And so I value education higher than a lot of things because of what it provided for him and what it's provided for myself and Chandra. Chandra was the first in her family to go to college and be able to pursue higher education and pursue the biomedical world that she did. It changes lives. In regards to the Department of Education, I don't get as nervous about the dismantling that's being discussed because the departments are just very good at providing administrative oversight. But I don't believe that it really provides what the community needs. And you know this very well as somebody involved in education and involved in the local educational politics. The biggest thing we always hear about is the support the teachers needs in the classroom.
Right.
And I will never believe that having more administrators on the East Coast of America are going to provide that piece that is missing. And if you would break down the numbers and you go into the stuff he's doing, the kind of Doge effect of economizing the Department of Education, 98% of the budget just gets moved and reallocated into other departments in the federal government. So those duties still happen. But the idea of making it more efficient and pulling back bureaucracy, I think, is a great thing if it's expanding education for where it needs to be expanded. And it needs to be expanded in the classroom. It needs to be expanded with access for kids to have teachers and aides and support in order to function and achieve that higher step.
You're absolutely right, Jason, and we don't need more bureaucrats to do that.
We don't.
But extending opportunity and those services in the classroom where the rubber meets the road comes at the hand of funding. There's no two ways around it.
Yes, it does.
So as long as that funding is there and continues to, I was going to say, continues to come. No, it needs to increase to where we're fully funding IDEA, and I can get on my soapbox and go deep all day long.
And your soapbox is important on the education piece, Matt.
Yeah, definitely. But,
I don't know. I read a statistic once that said, even as, like, if you look at the Los Angeles school district, even as enrollment has dropped over the years, administration has gone up. So you're getting more and more people. And I'm not suggesting that they're all bad or they don't have important functions, but I am suggesting that we are losing the piece that matters most.
Yeah.
And it's the educator standing in front of our kids who's teaching.
And we do need higher levels of accountability to make sure that we're running as, like you do at the city, as lean of an educational bureaucracy as possible to make sure that, gosh, we need more services in the classroom now than ever before. Our kids are changing. What's going on in our schools are changing.
100%. And we pride ourselves.
Resources in our schools.
We pride ourselves at the city on running lean.
Yeah.
And it's not because we don't have the opportunity or potential needs to make people's lives easier by hiring more. But every time we strategically hire somebody at the city, it's to add a very specific function and purpose. Never to be about, well, we can just have more people at the city and maybe that'll make things easier. No, it is a well-oiled machine, and my hat goes off to our city manager for the work that he does.
Absolutely. Recognized as the nation's best for years.
For a reason.
For years, yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about some of the stuff that's going on in and around town.
What's going on?
So we've got some stuff going on lately. For example, a proposed 8-story courthouse right at the corner of Valencia and McBean Parkway. Very convenient. Can you talk? Well, conveniently located right at the center of town for the felons that are going to be tried there.
Sure.
So, can you talk about this proposal a little bit? Because A, it doesn't seem to be a very popular idea around town. B, I thought we had some sort of ordinance that capped how high our buildings could be in town. So, why does it still seem to be moving forward, and what can our city do to stop it?
Yeah, Matt, I think we do have those ordinances on height restrictions, but funny enough, the state doesn't really have to follow our rules. We have to follow its rules.
Even when they're in our city.
In our city.
Oh, wow.
And so
Fantastic.
there's CEQA exemptions that they get to take.
Okay.
This honestly caught all of us by surprise in a lot of ways. There had been discussion for some time about the state looking to site a new courthouse out here.
Mm-hmm.
And they did have a discussion with the city at one point, and at the time they were looking at, well, maybe we can just take the current courthouse and just expand it into the old sheriff stations and to the city's library. We weren't really big on that because at the time, we were working through the new town center specific plan. And we were trying to re-envision what the middle of town was going to be in having this massive courthouse that wasn't just taking care of people in Santa Clarita. I mean, this is a region-wide court facility that's meant to handle Antelope Valley. It's going to take people from down in Sylmar, down San Fernando, and they're going to shutter courthouses down there. So this was going to become this new big hub, and having that smack dab in the center of our town, when we have the biggest issue we've had in this city going on 20 plus years, every election, it's always traffic.
Right.
And if you put a facility like that in the center of town when you're less than a mile away from our only hospital, at one of the biggest intersections, probably the second most traversed in the city, it's a recipe for disaster. It is not a good idea.
It clogs the biggest artery to our hospital for 60% of our community.
Yes.
So, yeah, if you're in the Saugus, North Valencia area and you have a heart attack, God forbid, I mean, and we're talking about the neighborhoods that you and I live in.
That's right.
It's going to take 10, 15, 20 minutes longer to get to the hospital.
That's right. So we had told them when we had first responded, look, please look more toward the east side, right at the off ramps of your 5 and your 14, because if you're going to be a regionally attractive facility, you want to have it right there by the freeways, right there that's accessible, so that you're not impacting your center of towns, especially here or anywhere else.
And we've got some properties that fit that bill.
I believe so.
Yeah.
And then those were presented, and they did a meeting here at the center that I came to, and Mayor Pro Tem Ayala came to, and I came just to listen. And it was basically they just put up a map, and they had all these dots on it, and they said, yep, we can't do any of those dots. We like these dots. There's 3 dots. They said, well, the city didn't like that dot, and this person didn't want to work with us, so we're taking this dot.
So we're taking.
And it felt very much like we're here to listen. We really want to do this, and we think we're going to make this happen. That was the sentiment that came off. It wasn't a sentiment of listening, of discussing, of finding other potential avenues or places to go. And that was very frustrating. But my hat goes off to all of our electeds, from the federal level to the county level to the city level. Everyone has come on board in support of the city, asking them not to put that courthouse there. So at this point right now, it's a wait and see.
Okay.
We're watching and we're monitoring. They have received the message loud and clear that this is not what the city wants. This is not what the community wants. And so it is our hope that they work a little harder to find a separate place for their facility.
Okay. Got a lot more I want to address with you. Our time is short, Jason, and so I want to hit on the one question that really touches everything that is that goes straight to my heart as an individual, as an educator. That is children, schools, safety. Jason, just 1 month ago today, I interviewed Mia Tretta on the 5th anniversary of the Saugus High School shooting. You know Mia. She was shot through the stomach that day, and her best friend was killed in the shooting. Remarkably, she was able to recover physically and went on to study at Brown University, one of the most prestigious universities in the world. But just last week, a week ago tomorrow, she found herself in the midst of yet another school shooting, locked down in her dorm room while police searched for a gunman who killed 2 and wounded 9. They think he maybe have killed a third a couple of days later. Reaching a peak in 2023, Jason, the United States experiences, on average, roughly 1 gun incident on a school campus a day.
Yeah, about one in 300, some sort of brandishing.
Something
It could be anything from a brandish to a drive-by gang-related violence. It could be a cop that has a firearm out.
Right.
It could be an active shooting. It could be any one of those things.
100%. whatever metric you use,
Yes.
it is clear that gun violence is out of control on our school campuses. We would all recognize that one is too much, but one a day is just out of control. What are we going to do to turn this around and keep our schools safe for our kids?
God, it's heartbreaking. I remember Columbine very vividly.
Yeah.
Being in high school at the time and watching all of that unfold and those discussions there. Matt, I've watched this over the years, and first I would just say that on the city council, one of the first things we got to do was memorialize Gracie and Dominic at Central Park. It was not an easy thing to do. Easy in terms if you were just being callous and saying politically, this is the right thing to do. It is never easy to have to memorialize the death of a child.
Right.
And as someone who was raising two kids, that one hit really hard for me.
Yeah.
And whenever we're at Central Park, we always try to walk by, and I take a moment just to remember those two. If you go back and look at the studies that we've been doing for the last 30 years, it's a number of factors. Yes, it's firearms. It's access to firearms. It's the ability of these children to get access to legally owned firearms, whether it's by family members. And I believe that is kind of what happened in a number of the big situations that we've seen. Typically, most of these violences occur with pistols.
Yep.
Obviously the high-powered rifles, the AR style models gets the most attention because those were maybe the biggest massacres that we saw on school campuses. But it's not just firearms. Firearms is a discussion point that can't be overlooked. But there is a huge mental health piece that has changed for children in this society over the last 30 years. And studies continue to show that kids are becoming more reclused, more disconnected from their community, more access to information and feelings that they already have that go to exacerbate it. And what I mean by that is if you pay attention on your Instagram, if you're a child, even an adult, and something catches your attention for just an extra moment on Instagram, and let's say it's something about violence, or it was something about a child being hurt or a child being abducted, and you watch it just a little longer, those posts become more frequent and more frequent and more frequent, and it starts to hit you more and more and more. And your social media starts to input into you this problem and this particular issue, and it can enrage, and it can empower your senses to think that this is the hardest thing going on in this world. So I would offer this suggestion, Matt, in terms of how do you deal with this? You deal with it honestly and openly from every aspect. If there are legal, constitutional ways to impact the access of kids have to firearms and to pistols, legally owned and not legally owned, I'm all for the conversation and I'm all for listening. And if that pathway exists that doesn't violate the Constitution and law, then we should engage it. But we can't dismiss the mental health impacts. We have got to start engaging kids, bringing them into our society, including them more, not letting them get disconnected and siloed. And we saw a huge amount of that happen, obviously, as the natural byproduct of COVID. But we've moved out of that now, and we have got to move past that. And my heart absolutely goes out to Mia for not just having to see that happen in Saugus, but to now deal with it again at Brown is unimaginable.
Yeah, thank you very much. And I think you're right. Like I said, this for me is the absolute opposite of partisan.
That's right.
I don't care where you stand. We've just got to find a way to stop this. So as long as we've got your commitment to continuing to work you've got little kids that are going to be in school for a long time. Let's keep them safe.
Well, maybe hopefully not too long in college, because college is getting expensive.
College is getting out of control expensive. You just keep working hard on them while they're in elementary and junior high and high school to get that scholarship. Jason, there's so much more I want to talk to you about. We've only got a few minutes.
Okay.
And
we're going to have a Mr. Big T, right?
Well, that's what I was going to say. You know that Mom wouldn't tolerate it if we didn't have Big T on.
Okay, because round 4, I'm 0 for 3, Matt. And
Are you 0 for 3?
I'm starting to think it's the scoring system, but I'm going to keep coming and get you eventually.
I'm wondering if it's the poly education. But hey, let's do it. We will be right back with Councilman Jason Gibbs and my stupid big brother. I am Matt Watson, and this is SCVi and iLead Schools Eye on the Valley on your hometown station, KHTS. Welcome back. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is SCVi and iLead Schools Eye on the Valley. I am your host, Matt Watson. I am joined by Councilman Jason Gibbs. But now, despite popular demand, it is time for Big T's 5 minutes of fame. Y'all know Big T. Big T is an executive and philanthropist. Put your headphones on, Jason. You're
I
throwing
need
me
headphones.
off.
I can hear them.
Big T is an executive and philanthropist. He's an amazing father, husband, and dog dad. He's got a bachelor's degree from Masters University, majoring in recess. Here he is, everybody. He's mom's favorite, Big T. Welcome to the show.
Morning, fellas. Happy birthday, Frogger.
Thanks, brother man. How you doing?
Hey, Tony, they gave me the bad headphones, so if I miss any questions, it's because they set me up already from the beginning.
And the other 4 times.
3 times.
Okay.
Councilman doesn't sound very confident this morning, does he?
No, he's hedging his
Frogger's
bets
been
already.
cheating. That's all. I'm just going to call it like it is.
That's what it is.
Perfect. Hey, no fun facts this morning, Frogger, but I just had a couple of quick questions for Mr. Gibbs, if I could.
Well, sure. Yeah, you want to finish the interview? Do it.
I got three quick questions. You only have to answer one, Jason. You can answer the others if you'd like. But hey, so during the government shutdown, was Bill Miranda actually more productive?
Well, you said I get 3 questions. I can pick one to answer.
Okay.
Smart.
I heard an interview yesterday on the radio from the mayor of West Covina, and he said he got into politics because he had a lot of money and a big mouth. Does Bill have a lot of money?
And the third question.
Third question is, you said you're a supporter of the Salvation Army. Which grocery store are you going to be out in front of this year ringing that bell?
Oh, no, normally we try to do Hobby Lobby. But for me, it's probably going to be after post-Christmas because tonight I get to get on a plane, fly to Orlando, work at Cape Canaveral until Christmas Eve, and then I get to spend Christmas Day driving 39 hours across the country.
Oh, my Lord.
Oh, goodness. I'm sorry
Happy
about that.
Christmas to us all.
Well,
Wow.
It was more important,
We ready for some trivia,
that my
Frogger?
workers got to spend time with their families at Christmas.
He's a
That's
man
why
of
I
the
did
people,
it.
Tony. He's a
you're
man
a
of
good
the
man,
people.
Jason.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Maddie, you want to set up trivia or we want to dive into it?
You know what? Let's just dive right into it. You know, folks, you can play along at home. Andrew and I and Jason are going to play. We're shouting out our names as our buzzer. You are the Honorable Councilman Jason.
I'm going to be Gibby this time
Okay,
in honor
Gibby.
of my
All right.
KHTS people.
There we go.
All righty. I am sitting on the side of the road in Connell on my way to pick up Boy Wonder, Frogger. So hopefully the audio's okay, but if I missed something, help me out on who called it out.
I just
Audio's
used that
good.
excuse.
You got any co-pilots?
No, Cash stayed home.
Poor dog.
Yep, I pick up my co-pilot at the Spokane airport.
Alrighty, and which way is Spokane?
It's right over there.
There we go. All right, let's do it.
All righty. Granted, it didn't make the committee's top 5, but All I Want for Christmas Is You is consistently a top-rated Christmas song. Who sings
Frogger.
Andrew.
it? Frogger.
Mariah Carey.
It is Mariah Carey, the Queen of Christmas.
Not top 5.
Dick Van Dyke is now 100. Dick Van Dyke is now 100 years old. What actress played his wife, Laura Petrie, on the Dick Van Dyke Show?
Frogger.
Frogger.
Mary Tyler Moore.
That is Mary Tyler Moore.
Well, I was going to say,
like,
we're going all
geez.
oldies today. All oldies all the time.
My goodness.
What character did Bruce Willis play in the non-Christmas movie Die Hard?
Andrew. Oh, go.
John McClane.
Andrew.
No,
But Andrew
no,
got
Gibby
it.
got it.
No,
Gibby
no,
got
no,
it.
no.
You already said it.
All right,
Go ahead.
we'll share that answer.
We're going to give it to Gibby. John McClane is correct. What newspaper did Clark Kent work for?
Ooh. Frogger.
Frogger.
I'm looking at the comic book nerd kicking himself. The Daily Planet.
Daily Planet is correct.
Well, you know, you just
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Who is Miss Piggy's longtime love interest?
Andrew.
Gibby.
Kermit.
Andrew.
Yeah.
Kermit the Frog. That is correct.
It was
Another
Fozzie
frog.
Bear on the side, I hear.
Hey.
That's
Whoa.
a story for another day.
Frogger, you hang out with Kermit ever?
You know, frogs flop around together from time to time.
you hang out on the same tadpole.
There we go. Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. So Julian Huff is set to join Ryan Seacrest on Rockin' New Year's Eve. What show did Julian Huff get her start on?
Andrew. Dancing with the Stars.
Andrew. Dancing with the Stars. That is correct. Derek's sister.
I'll
Speaking of
take that
sisters,
one.
What is
Yeah.
Kate Middleton's
Run with
sister's
it, baby.
name?
That's yours.
There we go. That's a young person's question.
What?
Yep. Speaking of sisters, what is Kate Middleton's sister's name?
Frogger.
No, her name's not Frogger.
Frogger.
Pippa.
It is Hippa. It is Hippa.
Okay.
It's Pippa, not Hippa. HIPAA is that the health
HIPAA's like
health law, yeah.
health.
Right. She's got her own
Like a
cartoon
HIPAA
character, I
violation.
think.
HIPAA.
HIPAA, yeah.
HIPAA pig?
Actor Kim Jong had another profession before he became an actor. What was he?
Andrew,
Oh,
Oh.
a doctor.
Andrew.
Anesthesiologist?
Yeah.
He was a doctor. In the show South Park, what color is Cartman's jacket?
Gibby. Red.
Gibby? Red is correct.
Nice.
Are you a South Park fan?
I am a huge South Park nerd.
those guys are
Awesome.
incredible.
What Disney princess lives under the sea?
Gibby. Ariel.
Ariel is correct.
I was just on that ride at California Adventure.
Okay.
Oh, gosh, gotta help you. What TV show was Usher a coach on?
Andrew.
Andrew.
He said confidently.
The Voice.
It was The Voice.
Hey.
Boys, nice job.
Tony, we're going to do 2 more questions. Andrew's got 4. I've got 4. Gibby's got 3.
Yeah, see,
We got 2 more questions.
Microphone's broken. I had the first 3 too.
All righty. What are the slippers that Cinderella wears to the ball made of?
Gibby.
Ooh.
They were glass
Gibby.
slippers, weren't they?
They were glass slippers.
Tie ball
Okay.
game. 1 more
Last
question.
one, recent. All right. Joe Jonas tried parallel parking his G-Wagon for 12 minutes in New York City. What brand of truck is a G-Wagon?
Andrew. Is it
Andrew.
Mercedes?
Gibby, yep, Mercedes.
It is a Mercedes.
Good job,
Benz.
Andrew.
Hey.
Andrew pulls it.
All right, we knocked Frogger off that what'd you call it, lily pad?
Yeah, there we go. Hey, we got a jam. Thanks for swinging by, Tony. We want to thank our guest instructional specialist from Empower Generations High School, Douglas Stevens, City Councilman and most influential man in the city, Jason Gibbs, producer Sarah, engineer Andrew, and thank you for listening. Remember, friends, life is hard, but we're all here to help each other along. Be well, do good, and join us here every Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. on Eye on the Valley on your hometown station, KHTS.